So, welcome everyone um, to our Loving Waters evening with in alliance with the 7 Days of Rest. I'm Shelley Darling, and I'm here with some of our other Loving Waters Stewarding Council. And tonight, Charlie Riverman will be really opening the way with the focus of the Earth's waters. And for those of you who are here with us, and for those of you that'll be watching the replay, this is really just a deepening tonight into the relationship with water and earth. And Simply Loving Waters is a growing community of water stewards around the world that come together on the new moon and who take their reverence and love to the water on the full moon. And so we just offer a water blessing brochure for people who are just beginning, and for those who are wanting to work with communities or schools. This brochure and being supported by this is a beautiful blessing to us all, as well as this week, we're really excited to share with you. You can go to the lovingwaters.life website and you'll be able to download, I've just printed it out, our very new, this is the inauguration of our Water First Pledge. And maybe Charlie would share a little bit about this pledge a little bit later on and how you can use it. But with that, I hand this over to Charlie Riverman, and so glad you're all joining us, and thank you to the 7 Days of Rest that's offering this opportunity for all of us to come together with the understanding of these 7 foundations, the elements of life. So with that, Charlie, I pass the beautiful water bottle over to you.
Thank you, Shelley. It's a joy, a real honor and privilege as well to be here representing Loving Waters tonight for the first night of 7 Days of Rest, and deepen our relationship with water, both in understanding and in opening our hearts as we move into this brand new energy year of 2019. For those of you who are not with us, the recording will be available, and I will be doing a brief meditation. As Shelley pointed out, I have a half an hour, which I do a half an hour show, but tonight it may run a little longer. We'll see. The interesting part is preparing for this and preparing my heart to speak to each of you as a representative and steward of both earth and water. The question arose within me as to how can we better honor them both? And I didn't want to choose one or the other because they are somewhat inseparable. Yes, we can separate them. However, it is not the same environment if we do this. And this, as we move into 2019, is the key to what many of us are about to do, is in honoring the earth and honoring the water. We're recognizing the earth and the water within ourselves. And we're going to recognize the separation within ourselves. And we're going to be processing that, bringing it back together in harmony and balance. And so, as we all know, no water, no life, but also no earth, no life. And I believe it was Shelley wrote somewhere, and I'm not sure if I'm correct on this, if earth didn't have water, there would be no life. So let's rest in the wondrous mystery of earth's water, and as a collective, share our reflections. And I thought that was so beautiful as we look into the water and we do see the reflections of ourselves. And so when we look into each other, we see reflections of ourselves in each other. And that's looking into the water of each other. Feel into that. Feel into the water within your own body. Know that earth and water are linked with life itself. As I say, no water, no earth, no life. Because it's here we embody water and earth. This is who we are. We may call it flesh. We may call it anything we want, but when the body is gone, it returns to dust. And the water dissipates into the atmosphere and is reborn again in someone else. So this is an important message for all of us as we walk our paths in the new year, to really sit and take that moment of pause every time we encounter earth or water, and to make it a promiser to ourselves to get out there more in the earth and the water. We're now being strapped by technology. We're in front of these screens. We're on these cell phones. We're limiting ourselves from earth and water. And in the end, we will suffer from that. So part of my message tonight is get out and once again become a beautiful part of earth and water, because they are calling us home. And so this morning, I went to the ocean here in Maine, and I did a water blessing, which was unexpected, because I expected it to be cold and freezing and cloudy from a storm. And it completely opposite happened, and it changed my whole way of my day. And it began the day with, oh, thank you, Shelley. That's a beautiful picture of it. Yes, that's the picture I took when I arrived there. And that was just the message that earth and water had for me, who was unsuspecting, and just said, wow, it's sunny. I'm going to go to the water and do a blessing. And so I did, and that's posted on Loving Waters for those of you who wish to see it and share in that. But I wanted to talk to each of you about ancient water and ancient earth and the beginning, the galactic beginning, because we're here in a process that's billions and trillions of years old. As we all know, life begins in water. We're born into the womb, we're carried in the mother's water, and we're birthed from that. So that's sort of a no-brainer for all of us. But as I tapped into this, I was drawn to the outer galaxies and the universe, and how the ancient beginnings began, and that we have water here within Mother Earth that existed before Mother Earth did, and before what we call our universe existed. And people may say that's preposterous. However, scientific evidence proves it. Not that we need proof. Many of us tap into those ancient galactic waters. This is my connection as Riverman. When people say you're the Riverman, they immediately think of a river here on Earth. I immediately think of a river of water that flows from galaxies beyond galaxies, through which I have traveled to be here to speak right here with each of you. And each of you have traveled that journey as well, although you may not remember it in any shape, manner, or form. Or you may think that it's totally insane to think like that. So I gathered some information, and I want to read some of it to you. Earth and water are linked with life itself and their primordial life-giving properties through interaction. In ancient cultures, even the tears which women allow to hit the soil was honored as it fertilized the seeds in the soil. So too are we being called to regenerate this deep respect of our earth and waters, as our ancient ancestors did, and for their many blessings to us right here, right now, as they call us and we step forward into the role of planetary guardians. So yes, earth and water is far much more than just two things we call commodities. As we all know, the whole cycle of human life on Earth begins and ends with water. Places which still exist today are where the waters continue to increase wellness and fertilization capabilities of both men and women. Many springs still bring forth the water which were waters that were regarded as sacred, each aligned in the past and still are with a sacred goddess. This reverence is still honored in many places of our planet. I urge each of you to look in your local area for those ancient sacred springs, wells, waterfalls, rivers, streams. Visit them, spend time in them. There's a process that if you go every day at the same time to one of those places, eventually you will become an accepted part of that environment. And that environment will look for you to show up. Play with that as we move into 2019. Find a place on earth where there's water, earth and water, and show up. Just sit, meditate, sing, just be in that space and experience the shift and change that you will feel as being an active participant in that environment just by being there and breathing. So this is what earth and water brought up for me as I, started to think about it. The reverence for those springs being honored, there was a time when the men of the old cultures were not allowed to carry the water from those sites because it would be considered an act of rape. And so we'd go back in time when we realize that Mother Earth, Mother Water, the mother energy, it was alive. It was the story of creation that emanated from those galactic waters, from that journey from the stars, all to be here, both within us and around us. Some of the ancestors considered, which I found interesting, was that the rain that was falling was falling from the womb of the moon, which again represented fertility and reproduction. So here again, in the history of humanity, we've always worshiped the earth and the water. It's nothing new. We've just slowly stopped and begun to dishonor the earth and the water. And as we can all see playing out in the world, it's time for us to stop, time for us to wake up and move on and honor both our bodies and the body of earth as one, no longer separated by the mind of humanity. So the next thing was to let us understand and deepen our understanding as we begin to remember that some of the waters began before our earth existed and before our sun was formed. How can you say that? Well, water existed before planet Earth and was formed in the clouds of dust and gas, which were the ancestors of our solar system. So I want to expand everybody's consciousness here to realize that we're not talking about just right here and now. But before even Earth, before our sun existed, there was water forming in clouds of gas. It was destroyed. It was regathered. It was traveled. I wrote that these interstellar waters, I poetically call galactic water, was formed and flowed in waves as rivers and oceans, similar to, but not exactly like our own here on planet Earth. They were created, destroyed, reformed many times during billions of years of cosmic evolution, and now reside on many planets throughout our universe, as well as here. So as you see humanity seeking water in other planets, so too are they seeking water within the Earth. That water is part of that galactic water. And it goes by many names, some of which are interstellar water, primordial water, magmatic water, primary water. Billions of years old, still within the core of Mother Earth. Perhaps she is now birthing something new through that water for all of us to dive into, to tap into, to swim into. And so we need to really honor within ourselves our connection, more so than ever in the history of humanity. Think about it. Earth and water are in a symbiotic relationship. And so are we. This is where we are at the threshold of the 7 days of rest, the threshold of the year 2019, the threshold of our evolution of consciousness and awareness, the threshold. The heart of the matter is connecting and honoring to the heart of the mother. And we can do that both individually and in groups. I'm looking at time, it's 20 minutes past. I also wanted to lead you on a meditation, which I will do as I'm called to. I'd like everybody to just take a deep breath. We're going to honor the 4 directions: air in the east, fire in the south, water in the west, and earth in the north. So take another deep breath. Feel the water in your lungs and your air and your breath as it filters into your body. Know that there is no separation. Know that this water and all water within your body comes from the same source. One water. Mother water. This is a natural rhythm of water around the planet, on the planet, within the planet. Breathing gently, remember that Mother Earth breathes. And in each breath there is water. There is no separation, ever. As we continue this breathing in a slow and rhythmic manner, visualize a large violet flame rising up from the center of Mother Earth. From within her primary water and into the center of the circle of our hearts. Allow it to surround you in your stillness. And accept this as her flame of transmutation, which is her invitation to become one with her magnificence. Above you, visualize rays of golden light beaming down from a golden disc, traveling through the center of your body and into the base of that violet flame which is arising, merging within you as perfect light. Honor that light within you. Know that this is the light of who you are, of water and earth. Feel your heart expand in gratitude. Feel the water in your body begin to cleanse and purify. Feel the alchemical process of fusion of both the earth and the waters within your body. Allow this deep journey within of oneness to rise from the water within you to the air around you and begin to bless all the waters on this beautiful planet we so lovingly call Mother Earth. You are now embodied in both earth and water, both solid and liquid, moving in grace and love. Allow the feeling of this oneness to rise even higher, knowing that you are now returning to the waters of the universe and all of that which is beyond and was there in the very beginning. Hold a space open as hearts for the water on sacred Mother Earth, as a divine co-creation in which your loving light and energy is carried both backwards and forward simultaneously. Know your love and your recognition as one of the most ancient sacred truths. Water is life from the womb of our multiverse to the womb of Mother Earth, to the womb of all mothers, and therefore into all of humanity. Rest in that gentleness, in that beauty. as we leave here, be sure that we carry this feeling into all of our activities and actions, that Mother Earth or Mother Water ask us or ask of us to be one with. We will return now to this third dimension of physicality from these levels of deep water, primary water, galactic water. Breathe into the space around you and slowly open your eyes, knowing that you are love. You are the love of water, and you are the love of earth. Thank you. Thank you, each one of you, for joining us here tonight. And as we start off the journey of the 7 days of rest, and tomorrow night we gather, and each night successively, each with a different aspect and story of the water and what it means to us, or how we feel it so as the living essence of who we are. And we only have one guest, Nurasol, who is in Denmark, so I will not overlay the gathering for too much longer, because sleep is near for you, dear. And so I am complete, and I thank each and every one of you, both here and in the field around us, the larger circle we call Mother Earth. May you be blessed in your journeys for 2019. And please join us on Loving Waters in any way, shape, or form. Shelley, I'm sure, has a few things she might like to say. And you're also welcome, Grandmother Abril, your wisdom, and Mother Elizabeth, your wisdom is also welcome. So I pass the rising dolphin, mother and child, to whomever would like to speak next. Love you all.
Thank you. That was incredible. I just want to thank you for opening up the field. So we just want to invite people to take a few, maybe a minute or so, and just share your water gratitude. And Nursel, we know it's late for you, so if you'd like to pop in and just share your love for water or what's calling you here, if that feels right, or maybe you fell asleep, I have no idea, because we know how late it is, and allow each person to share, as Charlie was saying. And also, I want to end with just the expression of this pledge. I'm going to actually put it up on the screen and end that way, because tomorrow we begin with these exquisite expressions of the water that the Loving Waters Council has put together so exquisitely. And Elizabeth and Maya and Kathleen, some of our Loving Waters Council members, have been really working on this pledge, and we really want to honor all that time and energy that's gone into making this available as a downloadable pledge that you can carry. So with that, let's just open up, and we'll be here for a few more minutes and let people share, and then I will put up the pledge and we'll close this call for this evening. Thank you so much, Charlie. I just feel all luscious and just like a piece of kelp in the water. So I'm complete, and just please unmute yourself. And Nursel, if you feel like jumping in first, that's up to you and whoever wants to follow.
Maraiwaka, greetings, my relatives. My name is Abril Mondragon, and I'm here from the northern region of New Mexico. And this watershed where the Rio Grande runs and the sacred Blue Lake of Taos Mountains. Thank you so much for that opening, Brother Charlie, because the essence of what I connected with your sharing is that sense of belonging, belonging to, relationship with, the origination of, or what the origination from which we are. And this is so very, very ancestral in our knowing and being as human beings. We know that sense of belonging. And we also know those things that move us further away from that belonging to the water, to the earth, to each other, to all that is Mitakuyasin. And so with that, I'm just going to say my deep gratitude to the water, to the earth, the air, the fire, to the spirit and the life and the conscious intelligence that we are made of, that runs through our DNA, and that it made us who we are. And I will be sharing when the day of air is during the 7 days of rest, the element of air. So I'm going to be talking about the O part of H2O, and do a little bit of storytelling with that. And I look forward to being with you on that day. So again, thank you to the Loving Waters and to the 7 days of rest for hosting us again this year. Uh-huh.
This is Elizabeth. Thank each one of you for gathering here and taking the time. Our worlds are very full, and it takes an intentional thought to come to these calls and join with others, other water faithful, earth faithful people. So thank you. And for all those who are part of each one of our circles of our spheres of fluidity, may this moment extend into their consciousness, into their worlds, and nourish them. The other council members, Maya and Kathleen and Shanti Hart and Jim, thank you guys for everything. It was a beautiful sharing, Charlie. The galactic water usually journeys through our universe as interstellar ice. And every planet has this. In fact, I suspect that the interstellar ice is instrumental in the forming of planetary bodies. We are water. 99% of our molecules are water. the number of molecules in our body, mostly water. So I will speak more of this tomorrow. And I hope you all can join us and bring others that you feel would appreciate this changing of perspective, shifting of our awareness, and with that, how we see ourselves on this incredible planet. So thank you, Shelley, my dear water sister, for pulling this all together. And with that, I'm complete. And Neurosoul, if you are still awake, we love to say hello and hear your voice and welcome you into this circle. Much love. Also, I wanted to mention that the pledge is pretty complete and loaded on the website, so it can be downloaded from there. Yeah. Yeah, it's on as a downloadable PDF, and everybody is welcome to print this out as they're so inspired and share it, spread it around. Use it in your own water blessings. This is a gift to the world to remind us to put water first in our life. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for sharing that. I'm really happy because I was going to ask if you want to just put your water into this expression. So for those of you who can't see where I've just shared the pledge, and what we want to let you know is actually, Elizabeth, I think tomorrow is a water blessing ceremony, and I believe that Elizabeth is going to try to go down to the water. And we'll be recording live for those of you who are coming to join us on this Zoom. Hopefully she'll be live. And we will be then for the next 4 days, we're going to focus on each of the 4 phrases of this pledge and deepen into that expression and experience. So that's what's coming up. And thank you all for showing up here tonight. And just so much gratitude for this experience. Come visit us on Loving Waters at lovingwaters.life on the web, and we are going to be putting up a page. I'm saying this without talking to Elizabeth. We're going to be putting up a page tonight or the first thing in the morning where you'll be able to go and access these videos as well as the 7 days of rest and directions and the pledge directions for how to download that and use that in your communities. Will be going into that. So we're excited to be bringing you these, just this deepening into the water. And I just thank you, everyone. Thank you, Charlie, for tonight, and all the Loving Waters Council. By the way, Jim has been trying to get on, and hopefully he'll send us in a video as well. So much love to everyone. And why don't we just end? Everyone can take themselves off mute, and let's end with a water blessing. Elizabeth, did you want to say something?
I just want to mention our Facebook page. You can go to Loving Waters and go to the Facebook page, and a lot of this information will be there.
Right, as well. And come join our Loving Waters community, because we're connecting people and their watersheds. We've put together a map, and you can find out where water blessings are around the country. So around the world as well. So with that, let's just end with a simple Emoto blessing. So just closing your eyes for a moment and just imagining yourself at a river or a stream or a lake, or standing at the edge of the water, the ocean. And it's really simple. Just 3 times we'll just say, water, we love you. Water, we thank you. Water, we respect you. And water, we are you. So with that, can say it to yourself or you can say it out loud. And we'll just hold our water up, just connect it to your heart. If you have it close by, and just say a blessing to your waters as well. So water, we love you. Water, we thank you. Water, we respect you. Water, we are you. Water, we love you. Water, we thank you. Water, we respect you. Water, we are you. One last time. Water, we love you. Water, we thank you. Water, we respect you. Water, we are you. So blessings to you. We'll see you tomorrow.